Great. So tell us more about neurodiversity. What is it, and why should it be important to businesses?
Right. Neurodiversity is an umbrella term that was coined in the late 90s, and it was initially referring to those on the autistic spectrum and very similar conditions. It's broadened out a little bit more, and different people think it will draw the line in different places. But going back to the original coinage, if you like, that's the right phrase. I think coinage is the right phrase. The autistic spectrum, it's a neurodevelopment condition which affects memory, organisation, planning, social interaction. And so other neurodevelopmental conditions, therefore, that affect those, the executive functioning and social interaction of somebody fall generally then under that. So there's ADHD, autism spectrum, dyslexia, dyscalculia, dyspraxia, dysgraphia. Some people put tic disorders under there. And then it's where do you draw the line?
Okay.
It's you could arguably put Down syndrome under there. If you're thinking neurodiversity, everybody's in there, but it's really its origin, shall we say, are in the autistic spectrum area.
How did you become involved in this field?
I have ADHD. I have Asperger's. I keep referring to it as autism. It's autism spectrum.
Okay.
But Asperger's, ADHD. I have frontal lobe epilepsy, and I also have PTSD. And so I obviously have a shoe in that regard. I've got skin in the game, but also because of these conditions, I've found it difficult to stay in employment, find employment, either because of my conditions or the employer isn't really flexible or one reason or another, or it's just not the right job for me, personality-wise. So I've job hopped quite a lot, and I've ended up through fine-tuning becoming an ADHD and autism coach, helping people in the workplace. I train organisations. I'm just in the process of starting up a neurodiversity audit process, and there's which is an expansion of workplace assessments, but across the organisation for the organisation. So there's master classes, there's training, there's talks. There's, if somebody wants it, I'll do it.
And I think people have heard a lot about these names, these acronyms, PTSD, ADHD, and people have certain perceptions of it, I think. And I wonder whether any of those perceptions have affected you positively or negatively.
I remember I set up a recruitment agency just a few years ago because I struggled with employment, and the recruitment agency was to help people such as myself. And I closed the recruitment element down, but I moved on to just continuing to do what I was doing. But when I was trying to place this autistic girl, it was a small garage, and she was perfectly suited, and they did actually employ her. And they said, "But we don't want to make her condition any worse."
Mm.
I went, "But you can't make it worse. All you can do is, if nobody employs people, nobody includes people, that's how you're going to make it worse."
Mm-hmm. Sometimes people might think of Rain Man, or they say, PTSD is only for soldiers.
Yeah, I used to think that. And I'm actually from a military family, so I thought,
yeah,
I didn't feel guilty about the diagnosis, but I felt, no, it can't be. And born in 78, not many people really knew about ADHD and autism things, and ADHD was, a naughty boys thing. It's a lot more than that, as we now understand. But it was, a naughty boys thing, and I was a boy who happened to be naughty occasionally, but I wasn't a naughty boy every day. So I wasn't overly hyperactive, but there's a lot more to ADHD. I do talks, and it's like, how can you be autistic and stand up on a stage or in front of people and it's like, well, you just can. It's just one of those things. There is such thing as a frontal lobe paradox as well, which a lot of people with ADHD have, and autism as well. In an interview situation, such as this, or in a clinic, or it could be a job interview, or it could be similar setting, you appear as though you have nothing, without a condition. Very subtle things like you might forget where the line of questioning was, or you might not give eye contact. There's all those things happening, but otherwise you appear, like I say, normal. But deep down, you are highly impaired, but highly intelligent, and you know what's going on, and you can understand, and you can read, but you're just struggling because the filing cabinet drawers just closed, and you just can't get into that file to say, that's why I'm great for this job, or that's why I'm here at the doctor's. You know why you went, and you know you want that job. You're the perfect person for that role, but you just can't get that filing cabinet. You know which drawer it's in, you know which folder it's in, you know exactly where it is, but you just need to confirm it. But you can't. It's just, in your head, it's blurred until you get into that filing cabinet. You know what I mean? It's just jammed shut.
So, what have businesses done to help you in your journey, your career journey?
Well, I'm self-employed now, but a lot of organisations are recognising that neurodiverse people have different strengths. Whilst we need adjustments, there are strengths that come with those, and so that gradually trying to tap into those strengths, but obviously to get into, they need to help us overcome our difficulties. I think trust is key. And then people can open up about their conditions or whatever it is that's going on in their life. So an organisation needs to recognise holistically the human being, that yes, they come to work Monday to Friday 9 till 5, but things affect them at home. The commute can be an issue. The weather can cause difficulties, either getting to work or causes you stress. Reasonable adjustments obviously just need to be the norm. There needs to be a lot of support for promotion and side steps and things, to make sure that it just needs an extra bit of support and confidence and bit of coaching, if you like, or mentoring, equipment. It could be anything. Recognition of that 100%, and patience and space just to get on with the job at hand and shine. And if that person shines and isn't interfered with too much in the day, and then get on with it and prove how great they are, they will naturally, work through. If you're neurodiverse, you need your manager just to check in with you a little bit more often, and just otherwise, because with ADHD, if you as my manager are starting to lose interest, or so will I. So that project then goes further and further back down the list. So checking in a bit more often. COVID in itself is a bad thing, of course, but the working from home, I think it's opened up the mass movement of flexibility. As disabled people have been shouting about this for a long time. Yes. Parents have been shouting about it for a long time. And now it's suddenly happened, and it's like, okay, why didn't this happen before?
Yeah. So tell us more about the audits that you do for businesses. How can businesses get involved?
Well, it's a new product that I'm running. It's a neurodiversity audit, and essentially it's not there to trip businesses up. It's just to try and find out what is missing as far as neurodiversity is concerned. They might be looking after passengers, customers. It might be HR, and anywhere within the organisation, part or full. And as a neurodivergent, I go into an organisation and look at all the interactions, and I say, right, I'll give them a neurodiverse score. It's a pass or a fail, and I'll help them. I'll look at what they're doing. It's great, so they can replicate that. I'll look and I'll tell them what's missing, and they can then do with that as they wish. Hopefully, make improvements. So it's not there to trip businesses up. It's there to help them be more inclusive for neurodivergent stakeholders across interactions.